Concerns now about the new variants of the coronavirus. Moderna says its current vaccine does indeed protect against the two variants that have emerged so far from Britain and South Africa. And the company now is testing how adding a second booster, which would make it a total of 3 shots, might help the fight against the virus. Here now is Dr. Alex Jahangir, who's from the Nashville Coronavirus Task Force, chairman there. Thank you, sir, for coming back on with us. Your thoughts on these variants and whether another booster shot might be either necessary and or practical here moving forward?
Well, I think the variants obviously cause some concern, but not surprising if you know much about viruses. And so my hope is that as Pfizer and Moderna both said their vaccines are protective, if enough people get vaccinated, we do the precautions that we've had for the past many months, it won't be as hopefully won't be as impactful, but it is a more virulent or more easily spread variant, especially the South African version, which is slightly concerning. And if another shot is what's needed, I mean, that's great, but I'm still stuck on the fact that we still have to vaccinate more Americans. Only 5.6% of our colleagues here in America have been vaccinated. So let's get the first 2 shots in before we start talking about a third one, is my opinion.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It's just why I asked you about the possibility of a third shot. And, yeah, it's tough enough even to get an appointment for many people to get number 1 and 2. The president, however, just said a moment ago that everybody wants a shot should get one by the spring. And we will be, in his words, well on our way to herd immunity by the summer. What do you make of that? Does that sound right to you or a little off? What do you think?
Well, I hope so, right? I tell people, I think, honestly, by the end of the summer is where I was thinking. Now, but here's the thing. Hopefully, at the end of this week or next week, we will have Johnson & Johnson's data in, and Johnson & Johnson will get EUA. And Johnson & Johnson is a one-shot vaccine, easier to store, and they've already signed a contract with the government to bring out 12 million doses by the end of February and maybe 100 million by the end of June. And even if that's delayed a month or 2, which I've heard it may be, that's still pretty impactful. So hopefully the president is right, and we can get shots in arms. But realistically, for me, we're looking at a local Nashville area and state of Tennessee. I've estimated end of summer before we're able to have that much freedom.
So what's holding you up the most there, where you're operating at the local level in Nashville? What's the biggest issue?
It's frankly vaccine supply. We put about 7,000 shots in arms a week in Nashville, and we do it with minimal wait time, minimal delays. We have a long waiting list between what we as a city and as the hospital systems do. But I'm really proud of what we did just this weekend. 3,000 people over 75 in Nashville got shots in arms. So, but right now, when I'm averaging in operations, I can probably put 5,000 shots in arms a week. I know we can easily scale up to 20,000 and still have the same efficiency. So if you give me more shots, we'll put them in arms. And so it's just really supply for us.
All right. Well, hopefully they're on their way. Keep following up with us. We'll try to stay in touch with all these local task force around the country. Dr. Alex Jahangir, thank you, out of Nashville today.